Hello friends, I am Dr. Deepak Taikar. Welcomes you in second part of particle accelerator. Friends, today I am going to talk on cyclotron. Now, before going to talk about cyclotron, it is very necessary to understand the motion of charged particle in magnetic field. So, let us consider a charged particle is placed in a uniform magnetic field, so therefore the particle will experience a magnetic force, and that magnetic force is given by here on your screen, that F is equal to qvb sin theta, where q is the charge of that particle, v is the velocity of that particle, b is the magnetic field strength, and here theta is the angle between the direction of velocity and the direction of magnetic field. So let us consider that a magnetic field is perpendicular to the initial velocity of that charged particle. That means if magnetic field is perpendicular to its initial velocity, so therefore the angle between velocity and a direction of magnetic field becomes 90 degree. So as sin 90 is equal to 1, so therefore you will get F is equal to only qvb. Now one important point, you must note that the direction of magnetic force is always perpendicular to velocity, and it also perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. That means magnetic force are always perpendicular to velocity of charged particle as well as the direction of magnetic field. So you can remind Fleming's left hand rule. Now as force is always perpendicular to the velocity, so their dot product is 0, so therefore F dot V is equal to 0. So that implies that force is nothing but mass into acceleration. So mass into acceleration into velocity is equal to 0. Now acceleration is nothing but a rate of change of velocity. So m into dv by dt into v is equal to 0. So if you simplify, you will get d by dt of mv square by 2 is equal to 0. Okay, that means derivative of kinetic energy with respect to time is equal to 0. So it indicates that half mv square, that means the kinetic energy of that particle is constant. So it indicates that the charged particle moving in uniform magnetic field does not gain energy or does not lose energy. The only factor that can be affected is the direction of motion. So let us suppose this is the region of uniform magnetic field, and magnetic field is perpendicular to this screen. So its direction is outward as shown by this red arrow in this diagram. And let us suppose initially the charged particle is enter in magnetic field in a perpendicular direction to that magnetic field, or you can simply say that the particle is moving perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. So therefore, so this is the velocity of that charged particle, and therefore the particle will experience magnetic force, and the direction of magnetic force is shown here, and this is according to Fleming's left hand rule. Now since force and velocity both are mutually perpendicular to each other, so therefore the particle will follow certain resultant path. So you can see here it start to follow some resultant path. Now at this position, again this is the direction of velocity, and since force is perpendicular to this velocity, so this is the direction of force. So again it follows some resultant path and it will move like this. Here also at this position, this is the direction of velocity and this is the direction of force. So again it follows some resultant path and it will move like this. That means the particle is moving in a circular manner. So if you look at here, so it follow a circular path. Okay, that means if the particle enter in a magnetic field in a perpendicular manner, then it can follow a circular path. Now let us move towards our main topic, that is cyclotron. So cyclotron is the first cyclic accelerator built by Lorentz and Livingstone in 1932. Now talking about the principle, it consists of a uniform magnetic and electric field mutually perpendicular to each other. Now here you can understand, or you must understand, the role of magnetic field is to move the charged particle in a circular or a spiral path, and the role of electric field is to increase its kinetic energy. So due to magnetic field, the charged particle move in a spiral path, and during this journey it repeatedly passes through electric field region, and each time it gain energy and it get accelerated. So let us move towards construction of cyclotron. So it consists of two D-shaped hollow semicircular metallic chamber denoted by say D1 and D2. These are called as Ds. These Ds are connected to a high frequency alternating voltage source, or you can say that the Ds are connected to a source of high frequency electric field. Now this is the deflecting plate, which is maintained at some negative potential, and there is a source of charged particle which is located at the center of gap between these two Ds. Okay, and the whole assembly is enclosed in a vacuum chamber, and it is placed in between the two electromagnets. So this magnet produces a uniform magnetic field perpendicular to the semicircular face of these Ds. Now let us suppose a positive ion is generated at the center when D1 is at positive potential and D2 is at negative potential. So here you can see here that D1 is at positive potential and D2 is at negative potential. So the positive ion will deflect or will be accelerated towards D2. So see, you can see here that ion attracted by D2 since it has negative polarity. Now you can note down here that there is no electric field inside the D. and the positive ion is affected only by magnetic field. So therefore the force experienced, or that since the particle is moving in a circular manner, so centripetal force is given by mv square upon r, and here that particle experience only magnetic force, so the magnetic force is given by qvd. So from these two equations you can get the value of r, which is equal to mv upon qb. Now here very important thing is that radius is equal to mv upon qb. Here m is the mass of that particle, q is the charge, and b is the magnetic field strength. So all these quantity are constant. That means that radius is directly proportional to the velocity of particle. So what it indicates? So it indicates that as the velocity of particle increases, then it follow a slightly bigger circular path. Okay. Now the time taken by that positive ion to travel a semicircular path is given by t is equal to, that time is equal to, we know that distance upon speed. So it is equal to, distance means here half semicircular path, so it is twice pi r upon 2 upon that velocity v. So from that we will get t, the value of t. Okay, you can put the value of r from above equation, that equation, so you will get t is equal to pi m upon qb. Now here again very important thing is that here that time is independent of the velocity. Okay, so therefore the frequency of that RF voltage source, or you can say that the frequency of that AC source is adjusted in such a way that as soon as the particle reach the gap between the two Ds, the field get reverse, and because of that the particle gain energy. Okay, so for that the time period of AC source is equal to the time period of revolution. Okay, so at this position the as soon as the particle reach the gap between D1 and D2, the field reversal occur, and now here that D1 becomes D1 is at negative potential and D2 is at positive potential. So naturally that particle will get accelerated towards D1. So now it start to follow slightly bigger circular path, and again it reach the gap between D1 and D2 after moving a semicircular path. So at this position again field reversal occur, and again that particle gain energy, and again it will start to move in a circular path but with some bigger radius. Okay, and this process continues. So you can see here it again move in a bigger circular path, it again move in a bigger circular path. So in this way that particle move in a spiral path. So if you look at this process in one instant, so you can see here in this diagram, so see here how that particle is moving. It move in a spiral path, and at the end of that journey the particle is pulled out by that negatively charged deflecting plate. So in this way that cyclotron works. Now let us see the limitations of cyclotron. So the first limitation is that it cannot accelerate uncharged particle, it only accelerates charged particle. Okay, so it cannot accelerate uncharged particle. Now, second important thing is that when velocity increases, and if it is a lighter particle, then it may possible that velocity increases and approaches to the velocity of light. So according to Einstein relativistic mass formula, as v increases, means velocity increases, the mass of that particle also increases. So if mass increases, then the time taken by particle to complete half revolution also increases. That means now the period of particle revolution increases significantly with increasing velocity. So as a result, the particle fails to reach the gap at right moment when electric field reversal occur. So instead of get acceleration, it get deaccelerated. Okay. So therefore, the cyclotron is suitable only for heavy or non-relativistic particles, and it cannot suitable for a lighter particle like electron. So it cannot accelerate electron. So this is all about this topic. Hopefully you will like this video, and if you like this video, then please subscribe my channel. So thank you very much.